so that you are able to do your work as a sector. Thank you, and may God bless you.
Asante Mheshimiwa. And now it's time to hear from the European Union Ambassador to Kenya, Her Excellency Ambassador Henriette Geiger. Welcome on stage.
Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samuel Ruto, Cabinet Secretary of the Ministry of Roads and Transport, Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, Honorable PS, Honorable Governor of Nairobi, Sakaya, Director of the National Transport and Safety Authority, NTSA, development partners, government officials, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. I'm delighted to speak here today on behalf of the development partners for the launch of the National Road Safety Action Plan 24 to 28. We are celebrating today a great milestone to improve road safety in Kenya. The EU's partnership with NTSA through the EU NTSA Usalama Barabani Road Safety Program will directly contribute to it. The Road Safety Action Plan will reinforce and sustain the EU's ongoing initiative ensuring lasting progress for Kenya's road safety. The National Road Safety Action Plan is crucial as it will promote safety on Kenyan roads, some of which the EU has financed. The EU's roads program dates back to the early 1980s and resulted in the upgrading of over 2,000 kilometers of roads and many more kilometers of new roads. The EU NTSA Usalama Barabani program is complementing our infrastructure development, and over the last 3 years, we have already made contributions to road safety through capacity building of NTSA's management, the setup of pilot county transport safety committees in 6 counties, road safety awareness campaigns across the country, the development of road safety curriculums for schools, and this is very important, the development of a database for black spot management, and digital tools for driver testing. These activities have now been included and taken up in the National Road Safety Action Plan, and we are very happy about this. Now, let us all join hands for the vigorous implementation of the National Road Safety Action Plan to ensure a significant reduction in traffic accidents and fatalities as soon as possible. Ladies and gentlemen, over 3,000 lives lost on Kenyan roads every year. This is simply unacceptable. It is a crisis that demands our immediate action. Many of the persons affected by road injuries of even fatalities are the breadwinners in their families. And the tragedy of a single death is often compounded by the resulting suffering of the entire family and dependents. It also results in very important losses of productivity and prosperity, with severe social and economic consequences for the entire nation. Therefore, congratulations to Kenya for taking this decisive step towards road safety. This will benefit all Kenyan citizens. But a plan is only a plan. It's only as good as it is implemented. This is why the European Union and the other development partners are happy to be with you and to be at your side in this important effort, as every life lost is one too many. Asanteni sana.
Thank you, Your Excellency. And it's now time to shift gears. I invite on stage now the host governor of Nairobi, Governor Sakaja, to speak on his own behalf and on behalf of COG, and thereafter invite on stage the CS Transport, Kipchumba Murkomen. Karibu, Your Excellency.
President of the Republic of Kenya, Waziri Murkomen, Waziri Machogu, PSs who are here, Balozi, EU, and the entire team, members of Parliament. I'll speak on my behalf. I don't have authority from the chair of COG to speak on behalf of the COG, but I'm sure our remarks represent what we feel as governors. Traffic management is indeed a shared function that also the counties have a role on. I'm delighted, Your Excellency, to see very many leaders coming together from government, from the private sector, from our development partners, from research and academia, gathered here today to launch this absolutely vital plan. I'm very pleased, Your Excellency, that you will lead the inauguration of the new road safety strategy. On my part, it's a pleasure to host all of you in Nairobi and to welcome you most warmly. I think we all have an idea of the magnitude of the problem that we're facing. We've lost too many people on our roads. And this isn't only the only matter of concern. There's also too much pollution on the road, particulate matter, especially in the city. Children are coughing, going to school. And due to these respiratory illnesses, it actually accounts for 20% of the disease load, Your Excellency, as per the 2023 economic survey done by the Ministry of Planning. I will say again, as I've said before, Your Excellency, behind these numbers are cold, real tragedies, Your Excellency. Everyone who's passed on in 2023 or 2022 was somebody's child. They were loved. They had something to look forward to doing in life. Those dreams are gone. Those families are left with memories. Those families are left with grief. Those families are left with bills to pay. Many of those that we've lost, Your Excellency, also have been young people. If I remember right, a clear majority were below the age of 40. They had productive years ahead of them, and we've lost that as a country. We leaders have an opportunity to change all of this. Our generation of leaders, Your Excellency, can be one that finally solves this traffic, transport, and pollution problem. Your Excellency, I'm very pleased by the work that the Minister, our Cabinet Secretary, Kipchumba Murkomen, has been doing together with NTSA, George Njau, and the board, Manoj. They've been doing a good job. We need to radically look at our laws, sir. The Traffic Act that we have was first passed on the 11th of November 1953, Your Excellency, and commencement date was 1st January 1954. It still has some relics of the history of this city. I'll give you an example. There are only 3 people who can stop a car, according to the Traffic Act, Section 52. Police officer, an ambulance, and a Maasai herding cattle. It still provides for them, if you look at Section 52. So I know people have been complaining about the herders. Nairobi was owned by Maasai, so they actually have authority legally to be herding their cows and to stop traffic. I don't know if we need to amend that because of the heritage of the city, but it tells us that there's something that needs to be looked at in our regulations. I think it must be 52(4) of that act. Your Excellency, all the rules that are required are known to all of us. Section 60 of the same law prohibits more than 1 pillion passenger on a border. It's clear. The law is there. The police know the law. We know the law. We see 6 people on a bike, 5 people on a bicycle. One of the positions I hold that I don't like, Your Excellency, I'm the patron of a group of widows of border riders. Widows. We formed that group in Roysambu when I was senator. And it keeps piling up. We're losing so many of our riders. they think traffic lights are a suggestion. They go anti-clockwise on a roundabout, Your Excellency. But as they do that, we watch them. The police watch them. And we wonder why these numbers are high. I don't think there's a need for much more, than we already have within our legal, frameworks. The laws are clear. Let us just have the shared responsibility to do what is needed to be done. A few months ago, I think it was in February, I was meeting the Matatu Karagasha in your team, the Matatu corridor representatives, yes, Mudeu, as I always meet them, Your Excellency. And before that meeting, I called George and asked him to give me the statistics of road accidents. He said first Nairobi is highest. But the cause is that in many of our Matatu termini, there are wines and spirit shops. The drivers and touts, as they wait, isn't it? Forward circle, my friend. As they wait, wanakunywa, and then they go and drive those vehicles. Your Excellency, I have closed 150 of those wines and spirits that are at Matatu termini, and we will not open them, Your Excellency. We can have them operate elsewhere, but I have closed them. If you go to the back streets of the CBD, if you go to country bus, you will not find them anymore. And so, ukisikia nduru, please usinipigie, ni kitu mzuri nimefanya, Your Excellency, because we cannot lose lives in that manner. And many of them, Your Excellency, when you give an off license for a wines and spirit, the off license means that somebody can buy and go with it home to have their drink, and they don't want to go to a bar. What happens? They introduce one seat, then there are two bar stools, and it becomes a full-fledged bar, and we've had too many of those. So we've closed them down, Your Excellency, to make sure that we have road safety in our county. We're working with the NTSA to make sure that all the border riders are in circles, just in the same manner that matatus are in circles. If they're not in circles, we will not be able to regulate. And a lot of the accidents are happening in that sector. I'm glad, and I can see some representatives here. Many of them you will find today with the reflectors that show this person is from this part of the city, is from Kayole, is from Dagoretti South, and they operate this route. This is their number. And we've seen more safety coming out of that, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, additionally, we look forward to being part of implementation of this plan. We are grateful that you have supported us as counties and as Nairobi County. We're looking forward to the ITS system being rolled out, the integrated traffic management system, so that we can now implement the sport fines. I saw Waziri Murkomen speaking very well on Citizen TV the day before yesterday, and thank you for mentioning the work that we're doing together. In Dubai, the entire police department is funded by fines. There's no budget. The fines. We did a study, and I'm sure if Kura was here, I've not seen Kura. They tell you, yes, Engineer Kinoti is there. Engineer Kinoti did the study with the Koreans, I think. From the junctions that you see along Kileleshwa, Lavington, coming up to Ngong Road, where there are those cameras, if we find somebody, just 3,000 shillings, Your Excellency, for those contraventions. And I'm glad George has the M-Pesa number of everyone who has a number plate in this country, and we can take it directly. Each of these junctions will give us 1.5 billion shillings, Your Excellency. That 1.5 billion shillings times the number of junctions we're doing, depending on the period of time, can be able to fund road safety, can be able to fund our police and our vigilance on the roads. So I hope that we can move along with that. The issues between the court and ourselves on how that then is utilized is another story. But let us be able to protect our people. A life lost by an accident is almost wasted, people have struggled through their lives, they have gone to school, they have dealt with health care, and then a drunkard just hits you and you die. It's really the worst way to lose our people. So, Excellency, with those many remarks, I want to assure you, and I know it is the position of the Council of Governors, we're ready to support in implementing measures that will ensure there is safety on our roads and that we can preserve the lives of our people. So the statistics that we've been seeing can start going down and that we can make more use of these productive people of the Republic of Kenya. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Allow me now to invite my brother, the CS of Transport, Kipchumba Murkomen. Tumpigie makofi, tafadhali.
Thank you very much, Governor Sakaja, my friend. Your Excellency, President William Samoei Ruto, CGH, the President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defense Forces, the Governor of Nairobi County, Johnson Sakaja, His Excellency Ambassador Henrietta Giga, European Union Ambassador to Kenya, my colleague, Honorable Machogu, who is here, our PSS who are present, our Committee of Parliament, led by the Chair, Mr. George, and the team, NTSA team who are present here, led by the Chair, distinguished guests from different organizations, especially the stakeholders of the transport industry. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning once more. Your Excellency, before I make very, very brief remarks, let me introduce my colleagues who are here. We have Honorable Ezekiel Machogu, who is the Cabinet Secretary in charge of education and a very important stakeholder in terms of transport of our children and students in the various universities across the country. Thank you very much for being with us. He has informed me that he does not wish to make remarks today, but on Thursday he will say something about road transport and our students during his event on this Thursday. And then we have the PS. Your Excellency, I have one of the most hardworking PSs, a friend of mine, and our PS of transport, Mohamed Daga, who is here, Your Excellency. And he has done a fantastic job. He also says he doesn't wish to make any remarks today. We have our PS engineer, Joseph Bugwa, who is the PS of roads. Your Excellency, thank you very much for pairing us, the three of us. It has been a wonderful 1.5 years or thereabout, working with these two great gentlemen who are very passionate about what they do in the two departments of the ministry, and I want to appreciate them for the great partnership. We have here our PS who is in charge of parliamentary affairs at the office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Aurelia Rono, and we have our PS of Public Works, who is our neighbor also in the office, Honorable Joel Arumonyang. We have the IG of Police, who is here, IG Kome is here, and his team, and many other public officials. We have the NTSA Chair and the NTSA DG, and many others. Your Excellency, let me start by appreciating everyone who heeded to our call to come for this very important occasion when we are launching our National Road Safety Action Plan for 2024 to 2028. We would never have been able to do this action plan without the support of the men and women who are here. We thank the European Union for always working closely with us to support road safety measures and support NTSA with all other development partners, including the World Bank, Your Excellency, who may not be here, but who have played a very important role in this very important endeavor, and whom we look forward. I think the World Bank is here, right? Is there a representative of the World Bank here? Thank you very much. Maybe they are not here now, but this is a team that we have worked together to make sure that road safety is critical. I want to thank also the Parliament and our parliamentary committee, and thank you, George, for the work you're doing with your committee. Indeed, as the chair said, Your Excellency, this is one of the best committees, very friendly, hardworking, and they have been able to pass as many regulations and legislation we have requested them and facilitated the ministry to be able to do its work. So I want to thank them. I want to thank the stakeholders. Karagasha is here with the various border industry is also represented here. We have Matatu owners, Matatu welfare, transport associations who are here, different associations who have been of immense importance in terms of coming up with this very important strategic road safety action plan. Your Excellency, this is not the work of the ministry alone. This is a sector that cannot succeed if we try or even attempt to do things on our own. We will not succeed. Our intention and my intention in this ministry is to make sure that we have institutionalized solutions to problems of road safety. I do not wish Your Excellency to be glorified as a cabinet secretary or to have measures that will only be remembered for the short period of time I will serve in this docket. It should be, Your Excellency, that we have measures that I would last us, including your administration, so that therefore we have a country that reduces road carnage and road accidents, which is very painful if we think about the statistics. Your Excellency, the statistics are very, very, very grim and actually very telling of the very terrible behavior we have as citizens of this country. To be losing between 4,000 to 4,600, the highest was 2022, 4,600, and if we had gone at this rate in this year, perhaps we were going to surpass that number. And Your Excellency, every year to lose those people, and again to have about 20,000 critical injured people that you have in our hospitals, and it doesn't hurt us to know, and we don't feel really the pain enough to know that all the hospitals across the country, especially level 5 and above, have wards that are called border wards. You know, Your Excellency, where you have people who are critically injured. We have bills. We all know in our neighborhood that we'll be paying bills of up to, 4 or 5 million per accident, and you lose the person and you pay a higher bill, Your Excellency. It is estimated by the Ministry of Planning that we lose about 450 billion annually, which is 5% of our GDP, Your Excellency, to road accidents, because the pressure that it gives in the hospitals, the pressure that we go through because of these road accidents. And I think that this is something that should worry us. I was telling Kenyans the other day that we should have our anger sustained every day, because we have a situation where when we have road accident, like we had a few grisly road accidents in the last 1 month, you have national outrage, and everybody in the country is looking for somebody to blame. And usually the easiest target is the cabinet secretary. And Your Excellency, that outrage just lasts 1 week. When a new agenda comes, people move to something else. If we were outraged enough and angry enough, each one of us would do something every day to make sure that our roads are safe, because the greatest causes of accidents is recklessness. The most important actor in road accidents, Your Excellency, is the driver and the rider, because that is the man or woman who has the greatest control on whether or not they are going to sort out the problem of road accident. And therefore, in this strategic plan, the driver and the rider are at the center of this strategic plan, Your Excellency. We are talking about what we do to be able to train these drivers. I agree with the chair, and thank you very much, because that comes from the sector that is extremely important, that we are training our drivers for only 2 weeks, sometimes 1 week. Your Excellency, it's even worse for border riders, for motorcycle riders. Many of them, Your Excellency, go to the nearest football pitch, or they go to the nearest wheat farm, or the nearest maize farm. They train one afternoon, and the next day they are carrying an entire family, Your Excellency, without a driving license, without, Your Excellency, being checked. This is a sector that we have said that in the strategic plan we must train our drivers well, we must train our riders, and we must hold them accountable, Your Excellency. This area is sorted, as we have talked with Matatu owners, including BRT system. We've been talking with Sakaja, among others. We are going to double or triple the people who are going to be employed when we eventually agree to organize this sector. Your Excellency, we want to protect the driver. Most of these drivers cause accidents because of fatigue. The Matatu owners and the business people are the ones who are telling them that you don't have a salary. But if you can give me a return tonight of 1 million, whatever is on top, it is yours. If you give me a return of 400,000, whatever is on top is yours. So the driver is driving, running helter-skelter around the city, around the country, trying to meet the targets of the Matatu owner so that they can have something on top of it. Yet the law speaks to the opposite, that a driver can only work for 8 hours. These people are not in properly organized employment. They do not have NSSF, they don't have NHIF. We want to work with the owners to make sure that the drivers are organized. They can only work for 8 hours, Your Excellency, and that means, therefore, instead of one driver working for 16, 18 hours, we are able to employ 2 people to carry out the responsibility that can be done, Your Excellency, as a driver. So the driver is at the center of this conversation. The rider is at the center. We want our drivers to accept that this is a job. This is a very important job. The government of Kenya today was formed because we told the people of Kenya that dignity of work is very important, that we must respect people from bottom up, that if you are a driver, we value you. If you are a rider, we value you. In any case, His Excellency the President was elected by hanging around border riders and drivers and people who are considered lowly in society. We want you to live in dignity. But if you must live in dignity, you must also partner with us for us to help you to have a dignified life. You must also respect yourself, to love your job and to do it in the right way. You know, if you are a border rider and you respect yourself, you will have a helmet. If you are a border rider and you respect yourself, you will respect your machine. If you are a matatu driver, you will dress well, you will come to your job, you respect your machine, you respect your life, you want to live long. If it starts from there, then the government of Kenya partnering with you can help you in it through the financial mechanism that has been put in place, a hustler fund. We can move further to ensure that we source funding for you to start your business. We can move further to do many other things. And Your Excellency, since this strategic plan puts partnership at the center, I want to request our drivers and riders work with the ministry to sort this issue. The other very important partner, Your Excellency, is the county government. I have requested, Your Excellency, in writing that the next summit considers road safety as its most important agenda. Your Excellency, we have 2.5 million motorcycles in the country. About 1.8 million are active. And these active border riders, Your Excellency, need to be organized. We will not be able to organize them at Nairobi. These are transport mechanism of last mile. And as Honorable Sakaja has said, during the next summit, Your Excellency, under your leadership, let us discuss how to empower the counties, including, Your Excellency, the resources we will raise from instant fining and other mechanisms being sent to county governments to help them do road safety. Let them define where the border riders will operate from. Let them define the registration of border riders. For Honorable Sakaja to sort security in this city, he must be able to manage border sector. And I believe, Your Excellency, in the next agenda, as part of the strategic partnership, you will help us to make sure that counties, I would have expected that this meeting, because of the greater outrage we had, you know, in the last 1 month, every county leader and at least the Council of Governors would have considered this function extremely important. Because if we are going to sort the road accidents issue, we have to deal with border. You know why, Your Excellency? The leading cause of accidents in the country is borders now. The year 2000 to 2008, it used to be the public transport vehicles and private vehicles. But today, we lose the percentage of loss that we have. 38% of the people we lose, Your Excellency, are pedestrians. 32% are border riders. And Your Excellency, followed now with the passengers, who are 26% caused by PSV vehicles and private vehicles. Meaning, therefore, that if we have to reduce accidents, including the pedestrians that are knocked every day in the city of Nairobi and other parts of the country, we have to sort out the border sector, because that is important. And the question we should ask ourselves, how come our neighbors, our neighboring country, has managed to organize border sector that everybody dutifully is able to wear a helmet, Your Excellency, including the passenger? Now, if you come to Nairobi and you tell our Nairobi queens that you need to wear a helmet, they tell you, oh, it's smelling, or it's messing up my hair, Your Excellency. Which is more important, your hair or your safety? And it is proven, Your Excellency, that if you have an accident with a helmet, you are likely to survive, Your Excellency, because most of the injuries go to the head, and they are the most difficult injuries also to deal with. Your Excellency, we have in this strategic plan, Your Excellency, in this plan, we have put technology on the forefront. Your Excellency, thank you very much, because you have been calling every day to find out where are we with the instant fining system. Thank you, Your Excellency, because on your travel to Korea, as your first travel in the first year, you managed to secure and support a fund that will ensure that we have ITS system in the Nairobi city, Your Excellency, in about 80 junctions. Thereafter, in your trip to China, you also negotiated a fund, Your Excellency. We are going to have another 200 junctions on ITS system in Nairobi city. We will welcome you, Your Excellency, to come to the Chorus headquarters to see the pilot project, what it does, and what resources we are going to raise through enforcement, instant enforcement of traffic. We are in the tail end of negotiations and conversations with the private sector. We should be able, by the end of this year, to put in the most of the hotspots, which is actually the A8 road from Mombasa to Malaba, Your Excellency. We should be able to put speed cameras. I will be gazetting in another 1 week or so the task force that will work on the smart transport system, which will encompass the police, the judiciary, the county government, the national government departments, including NTSA, to work on the legal framework for that enforcement. And with that, Your Excellency, we hope that we will make even greater recommendations on the amendment of the Act. We are not just putting technology for enforcement, we are also putting technology not just for the roads, Your Excellency, but vehicular telematics. Vehicular telematics, you saw it, Your Excellency, in the demo here. And it's already being used by transport companies, by PSV companies. That technology is going to sort many problems in this country, especially in the education sector. We have agreed with my colleague in education that we will make sure that this becomes mandatory for all our schools, that they can be able to monitor all the buses as they travel across the country. I can speak on this subject, Your Excellency, because it's extremely very important for us. I gave a directive the other day that we need to move the markets from the roads. Your Excellency, this is a bottom-up government. You have prioritized markets across the country. And every county now has 2 or 3 markets. We were with you in the Ondiani, around the area where an accident occurred, and there is a market you launched there. We have a market, I'm sure, coming up near Kangemi here, Your Excellency. The serious accidents that have happened along the markets in the highways requires, again, a serious partnership with the county government so that we provide the markets off the road. We have promised under Kenya that we will make sure that we have access roads that people can drive to the market, because many Kenyans would like to purchase their goods while still inside the car. We'll make sure that they can drive through, Your Excellency, the way we have in other joints all over the world drive through, so that they can buy their goods and go. But their markets must move from the road, because Kangemi is a disaster in waiting if we are not going to be serious on this issue. Your Excellency, I'm passionate about this subject because it's about saving lives. And I believe that in this ministry, working together, enjoying the partnership based on the plan, I don't want to say more than that, because it's your responsibility today, Your Excellency, to help us launch this very important plan. We will come back to you, Your Excellency, again, as I said, under the summit. And then thereafter, we will have this plan, hopes that we now have a comprehensive policy on road safety that we are going to develop and bring to the Cabinet, Your Excellency, so that for the first time since 1963, this country will have the first comprehensive policy on road safety that mandates everybody. Road design now are being done independent of road safety. So we want now to do road designs integrating road safety, road markings, road designs providing for non-motorized transport. 42% of the people in Nairobi walk on foot, yet we have put more concentration on vehicles, Your Excellency, while less than 10% drive themselves to come to the city. The others use public transport system. So what are we going to do? Let's be like other cities in the world. Today in Nairobi, those people are walking, Your Excellency, because they cannot afford a car. They all dream that they can afford a car or public transport system. But in the other parts of the world, countries like Sweden and other places, including where Ambassador Narieta comes from, people are walking by choice. They prefer going to work despite having cars, despite all these kind of things. Your Excellency, again, we are going to make sure that this policy is going to have all these integrated together in a national policy. Without any further statements, Your Excellency, it is now my greatest honor, privilege to invite His Excellency President William Samoei Ruto to come and launch for us the plan. Let's put our... Come, His Excellency the President. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's take our seats. Asanteni sana.
I have been listening very carefully to all the statements that have been made, especially the very passionate statement made by Cabinet Secretary about this very important subject. And it speaks to the gravity of what we have to deal with, especially in the context of the losses to families, to the country, on what happens in our roads. Transport systems play an indispensable role in economies, serving as critical networks for economic vibrancy, productivity, and competitiveness. With the continuous growth of our economy, the demand for road transport also rises, and indeed, over 90% of goods and services rely on road transport wholly or significantly. The bottom-up economic transformation agenda identifies infrastructure as the fundamental enabler of productivity and, consequently, the development of a dense network of good quality roads throughout the country is a priority. Safe roads and safe road use by all stakeholders are critical to maximizing the efficiency and other gains from our road network, although increased economic activity must inevitably result in higher usage of road network and pose a higher risk of accidents. Concerted action can keep the actual incidence of crashes and resultant injuries low. We have witnessed a higher frequency of road crashes in many parts of our country, and especially in our road network, leading to fatalities and serious injuries, besides other forms of loss and damage. The factors driving this concerning rise in these incidences are many, and often involve a combination of low road capacity, poor maintenance of both roads and vehicles, low enforcement of traffic rules, and reckless behavior by motorists, passengers, and pedestrians. Abuse of drugs and alcohol, unqualified drivers, low awareness of traffic rules, and lack of consideration for others all contribute to high-risk road behaviors which endanger perpetrators as well as innocent road users. There has been an appreciable increase in investment in the development of our road network, both in terms of coverage and quality. Even as we continue to extend the reach of our roads, we recognize the urgent need to take efficient action to radically enhance road safety and drastically reduce the frequency of road crashes, fatalities, and injuries. To succeed, such action cannot be unilateral. Rather, road safety must be understood to be the outcome of consistent collaboration between various actors in the public and private sector, civil society organizations, the media, development partners who are present here, actors in the whole of this space. And I have been privileged to listen to many people who have very positive contributions to make to tame this menace. In the public sector, our justice, law, and order agencies must coordinate the sustained, robust law enforcement by ensuring that offenders are detected, apprehended, prosecuted, punished swiftly and transparently. Corruption is an enabler of impunity and a significant contributor to road carnage. We all know how the contribution of corruption aids overspeeding, reckless driving, drunk driving, and allows those who commit these crimes to escape because they can bribe their way through our system. Road users, especially the private sector transport operators, as well as the motoring community, also have a duty to comply with the Traffic Act and every road safety requirement without seeking shortcuts, evading inspection, neglecting motor vehicle safety maintenance, reckless behavior on the road, and paying bribes to avoid accountability are serious forms of contributory misconduct which must be dealt with. The media and civil society also have a role to complement public and private sector efforts to provide training, education, and awareness with regard to responsible road behavior and promoting a safety culture based on consideration for the convenience and welfare of other people. We have been informed that we all know what needs to be done. We all know that the largest contributor to road carnage is overspeeding, reckless driving, drunken driving. The numbers have not been coming down. The numbers have been going up. Every year, the numbers are going up. Waziri and your team, the numbers have to come down. And the template on how the numbers should come down is known. It's practiced elsewhere. Impunity is keeping us from doing the right thing. Governor Sakaja has said that he has closed pubs and places where alcohol is sold at termini. I mean, there cannot be greater impunity than licensing alcohol to be sold at termini when we know that the people at the termini are drivers. But it's continuing. It's happening just before our eyes. And I want to promise you, Governor, as I have said before, you will never get a telephone call from me to tell you to do the popular thing. I will not do it. I will always call you to tell you to do the right thing. It may not be popular, but as long as it's the right thing, do it. The challenge we have, and that is why we haven't made as much progress as we should, and that is why we have not achieved our potential as a country, is that those of us who have the opportunity to lead, those of us who have been chosen as leaders, want to do convenient things, want to do popular things. And I will say this again. As leaders, we are elected to lead, to serve, and to make a difference in people's lives. We are not elected to be popular. If you want to continuously to be popular, don't be a leader. Be something else. There is an opportunity for you to be popular all the time, for people to clap to you to clap for you all the time. Be a comedian. That way, you don't have to struggle. People will continuously clap for you. People will continue to laugh at what you're saying, and people will continue. You will continue to be popular. But those of us who have an opportunity to lead, let us do the right thing. It may not necessarily be popular, but the right thing will get us to the right place. And we will never go wrong by doing the right thing. And therefore, as we launch this program and this action and this strategy, we must be focused on results. We must be focused on results. And the results will be the numbers to come down. The target, as was said by the chair, is to cut down by 50%. I will be looking out for the 50%. Everything in between, you have my support, you have the support of this administration to do it. But the people of Kenya will be focused on results. I too will be focused on results. And as Waziri has said, we have negotiated with friends. I want to thank many friends who support us in development of our infrastructure. The ambassador of EU has said EU has been a great partner, together with others, in developing our infrastructure, road infrastructure in Kenya. They are also willing to partner with us on matters road safety. I expect greater collaboration between the traffic department of the police and the NTSA. There has been some disconnect, sometimes competition between these two agencies. Mr. IG, Mr. DG, please, I expect greater collaboration so that we can see results coming down. I also expect greater participation by the public. All of us, every road user, pedestrian, driver, passenger, private sector, traveling in public transport, our children, all of us must be conscious about the dangers that lurk behind road using. And therefore, it is my expectation that we will be the administration that will finally deal with this challenge. We have 20,000 people in hospital because of different kinds of accidents on the roads. We're spending a colossal amount of money trying to treat them and to take care of them. Families are losing breadwinners, children, mothers, fathers, relatives, and it is devastating. And therefore, the collaboration that is required, and I am very happy that we have members of parliament here. They have been doing a great job in making sure that they facilitate regulation, making of legislation, getting policies in line, and therefore, with the support of every arm of government, I am very confident that we will begin to see a reversal. I am looking forward, before the end of this year, that majority of our junctions, majority of our blind spots, majority of the areas that bring danger to road users will be on camera. We have discussed, we have talked about instant fines for a very long time. Waziri, please, instant fines, 90 days is too much time for you to wait. Let's do it so that we can get everybody behaving because they know somebody is watching them. It is therefore proper and fitting that we all demonstrate our commitment to road safety through concerted efforts, collaborations, and partnerships, as well as a sustained campaign to enhance infrastructure design, intensify awareness of campaigns and civic education, strengthen law enforcement, and support in the entrenchment of a national culture of safety and responsible road behavior. The launch of the National Road Safety Action Plan is a good starting point for our coordinated multi-sectoral endeavor to improve road safety in our entire road transport system. I expect government ministries, departments, and agencies to lead this effort through a multi-agency framework to steer the implementation of this plan and ensure that public sector provides a model for road safety. We all must recognize the importance of road safety and remain mindful of the fact that reckless behavior endangers both perpetrators and innocent third parties. Consequently, we must henceforth implement a zero-tolerance approach to negligence on our roads and enforce the traffic laws and regulations to their fullest extent in order to promote safety, order, and efficiency on our road transport system. The National Police Service shall ensure that there are no exceptions from compliance, regardless of whether you operate border, heavy commercial vehicles, school transport, or any other vehicle on our roads. The government is committed to support the implementation of the National Road Safety Action Plan by providing resources, addressing legal and regulatory gaps, enhancing the capacity of the National Police Service to enforce traffic laws, and investing in automation and digitization of law enforcement and traffic management, among other interventions. I take this opportunity to appreciate the considerable support we have received from development partners, including the World Bank, the European Union, and the African Development Bank. I also urge potential partners to come aboard and take part in this noble mission to keep our people safe on our roads. I also look forward to seeing other organizations, including institutions of higher learning, join this collaboration to strengthen the use of evidence-based strategies and conduct research into various dimensions of road safety and road use behavior. Road safety is a shared responsibility which requires the execution of an all-of-society strategy throughout the country on a sustainable basis. I urge all Kenyans to observe road safety and report violations as part of their civic duty under community policing. Do not travel in overloaded vehicles and use the earliest opportunity to make sure that you report speeding or recklessly driven vehicles. The police must collaborate with citizens and ensure that dangerously driven public service transport vehicles reimburse fares upon arrest. We are determined to transform Kenya's road transport system from sites of frequent carnage into an efficient network that drives productivity and competitiveness, because it is our intention to make sure that travelers reach their destinations and Kenyans travel safely in pursuit of opportunities to all places at all times. The collaboration that I see here from the Matatu Owners Association, those who are in the Association of Drivers, the ministry, and all actors, is a collaboration that will give us the opportunity to succeed, and not just succeed in a big way. So I look forward to 1 year from now, we will have another meeting. And in that 1 year from now, Kipchumba Murkomen, you better come and report to us that the numbers are coming down. Otherwise, you will be in a lot of trouble. The first National Safety Action Plan 2024-2028 is officially launched. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Let us all be upstanding, all of us. Your Excellency, we